Hi everyone, I'm Nimrata,
And I'm Chris.
and welcome back to More Than Just Real Estate. We were supposed to say that together. I literally just gave him the cue. Anyways, so today Chris is the star of the show, the MVP, if you will. And we kind of just wanted to share a little bit about what we do every day, and then some of our side quests, as our brokerage owners like to call it here. And the side quests just mean things that you're passionate about that can help you grow your income streams, or it's just passion projects that you like to do outside of your everyday, day-to-day real estate selling job. So when we when we became a team, we decided we were gonna do it all, right? We didn't wanna just put ourselves into like a little box. So we service everyone from first-time home buyers all the way up to move-up buyers, luxury buyers, and everything in between. And yes, I love first-time home buyers. Hello, like I'm going to be one, and I'm very passionate about helping people become homeowners. It's your first stepping stone to not only growing your net worth, but also getting you into your dream home. And so yes, I'm very passionate about that, and I find really creative ways to be able to get you into a home. But
Like
we
what?
are, huh?
Like what?
My favorite term when I'm like taking clients out for showings, maximum where I'm gonna show you 5 or 6 houses in a day, that's it. And that's just because by the 5th and 6th one, you typically forget the details of the homes you've seen today. So as to not like overwhelm you, that's the cutoff. And if I see, based on the market data, that a home has been sitting on the market, and that can change depending on what season we're in, but sometimes it's 14 days, sometimes it's 21, sometimes it's 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever. Because I know what I'm doing, know what's happening in our local market. So when I'm taking some clients out and I have a great feeling that this home is gonna be the one for them, and I'm usually right. Like, I love that too, when we walk in somewhere and then they're just spending all the time, like they're talking about where their furniture is gonna go, you know, what kind of party they're gonna throw for their housewarming. I know this is gonna be their house, and I just like love to look at Chris and be like, I told you so. But outside of that, if it's been sitting on the market, I always am like, there's blood in the water. And yes, when we're on the listing side, like our job is to make sure our client is getting the most for their home so that they can go and use it for whatever adventure they've got next. When we're on the buyer side, my job is to get you the best deal for the best home in the best neighborhood you possibly can get. So when I say there's blood in the water, that just means there's an opportunity for me to go to them, and there's several scenarios, but we can get you a lower sales price. We can get you some concessions to help you have to bring less money to the transaction. We can help buy down your rate. We can negotiate repairs during inspection. There's a whole myriad of things that we can do alongside helping you find loan programs and loan officers that can help you get there by introducing you to grants, money that you can get for buying your home that's just free and never has to be paid back, or down payment assistance, or finding a 0% loan. There's lots of different scenarios, and you won't know what works best for you until you talk to someone. And right now is the best time. Like, it's tax season, you should file your taxes. If you have money, save it, start talking to someone. Like, there's no better time to invest in your future than right now. Anyways, I went off on a tangent. So when we started working together, we basically decided we were gonna do everything. So what are some of those things, Chris? What are some of the things that we help our clients with?
I thought you meant just like phases of real estate. We do residential, we do commercial, vacant land, investment properties. We don't do timeshares.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about what all of those different scenarios mean? Like, what's the difference between residential and commercial, vacant land, investments, all that stuff?
Vacant land is vacant. It doesn't have a house on it. So we have clients that have, I don't know, we have one client right now is the daughter of a developer who's passed away, and so we're helping them divest of all of their property. Basically it was 22 lots in Gig Harbor, and we got those sold last year.
Yeah, the last of them.
Garrett Custom Homes, and we sold 13 lots, something like that to them. Closing the last phase of that, I believe, June or September of
June
this year,
this year.
something like
Yeah.
that. So we do things like that, which requires a whole bunch of different information and skills necessary to complete versus a residential home. So you needed to pay attention to, you know, the land portion of your education.
Yes, no, and it's funny
How many
because
square feet in an acre?
46,000 something, I can't remember the acronym, but there's an acronym to remember that. And it's funny because what you learn in real estate school is almost never applied in like your day-to-day real estate life. But vacant land is one of those things. It's like you're
doing things differently.
Correct.
You don't
yes.
have a home inspection, there's no home. You have a feasibility period or contingency. You're studying the land, making sure that it will work for your intended purposes. Just a lot of different things, and yeah, highly recommend if you are looking to build your own home or anything to do with vacant land, you find somebody who knows what they're doing, because they can get you in quite a bit of trouble.
Right, exactly. I mean, and that's typically when those kinds of things come into play, is if someone is looking and they have like very specific needs in a home, and instead of going and finding one that's resale or under construction, they decide to just build one.
Yeah.
So that's where we come in, we kind of help you, and we work with several local builders, you know, that can either help you find the land and build it, or if you bring the land, they'll build it. So there's several different scenarios there.
Yeah, but you gotta make sure it works.
Exactly.
A long time ago, I was like, oh wow, $25,000 dirt, I'm gonna buy it and build a house like for nothing, and then I found out it's gonna be like $50,000 to bring utilities from the street. I think that was just electricity, so that didn't even have anything to do with water or whatever, which in that case would have been a well, which I think is like 20 grand or something like that. So there's just a lot of things that could potentially make your perfect piece of land
Not so perfect.
feasible, yeah, to use. So you definitely, like I said, need to have somebody that knows these things, as well as can put you in contact with contractors and whatnot that will help you prove that up.
Exactly. And then of course, commercial is more so the business side of it, so helping folks, you know, get into commercial leases, helping buy and sell businesses, buy and sell buildings, all of that good stuff.
But they all have different financial requirements and or I guess approvals. So just because you think you can buy a house doesn't mean you can buy a business. So again, like Nirvana mentioned, you're gonna wanna talk to somebody to get a loan.
Yeah,
you know?
and I mean, like, our country is really geared towards helping those small business owners get proper financing to be able to have those businesses,
Sure.
but those rules are also changing, just seeing as with everything else that's going on in the world right now.
But you gotta have a plan.
Correct.
You can't just go, I'm gonna buy this. I mean, you can, but it's not, if you're getting a commercial loan, a lot of times they're required to have a business plan, to have some kind of budget or something, some kind of studies to show that this is, you know,
It's feasible, it's gonna
not
make
a fluke.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's ways you can get around them, but we see a lot of people fail in this type of endeavor. It's not a good thing.
Yeah, and we never want that, right?
Yeah,
Like,
no.
that's one of the big things for us, like, I would say it's one of our guiding principles, is that we'll tell you no. Like, we'll tell you to walk away from a property or a deal if we don't think that long-term it makes sense for you. And we're okay doing that, knowing that our relationship with our clients is gonna be intact, and they're gonna go and tell more people about us. Like, it's not about the one paycheck, it's about the lifetime of the relationship. Okay, so the main star of the show. So recently we got into the short-term rentals or Airbnb world, and Chris is the maestro of this. So I'm kind of going to lead the conversation and see where it goes, since some of you say that Chris looks like he doesn't even want to be here. So today he's going to do all of the talking.
Oh, sweet.
All right, so talk to us about how the Airbnb idea came to you. Like, what made you want to buy one in the first place?
I mean, I don't know. I like to travel, so having a place to crash wherever I want to go seemed like a great idea or a dream. I guess, but honestly, the reality of investing in real estate has kind of changed. A lot of people, myself included, thought, the buy and hold thing was the way to go, long-term tenants, yada yada, whatever. And with what's happened, I'd say, at least what I've seen in the last several years, is just it's just not worth it. You got tenants that want something fixed nonstop. They have financial problems. They can't pay the bills. Now the government is backing them up for not paying their rent. It's just,
Side note, my parents had to pay someone $10,000 to move out of a place that they were renting of ours, on top of not paying rent for 6 months that my parents also carried. So it probably came out to about $20,000 in loss, money, just poof.
And if they would have had to go forward with the eviction process, they were waiting almost a year to get on the court schedule. So it's just, there's a lot of headwinds, at least in this state, to being a landlord. And with short-term rentals, anything under 30 days is considered a short-term rental. There's no tenancy rights. It's like a hotel room. So if a guest doesn't want to leave, it's a lot easier process by calling the police and having them removed from your property. So that's a plus, and then on top of it, just the amount of money that you can make. So
wait, we'll talk about that
Okay.
a little bit later. Talk to me about the one you own now and why you chose this specific one.
First of all, it took about a year and a half to find
the one.
Any
options.
house can be an Airbnb, I guess, unless it has HOA rules against that. But in downtown Seattle, not every condominium can be an Airbnb. And I wanted to be a destination. I didn't want to be off in the suburbs or something like that. I wanted to make sure, regardless of the time of the year, people would be coming. So focused on downtown Seattle area, and so finding a building that was Airbnb compliant, I guess, or allowed, was not easy. There's very, very few of them. There's people running illegal ones, but that's not going to end well, and that's a lot of money to risk like that. But again, very few, I guess, HOAs allowed. So that was number one. I think we've looked at 8 or 9 of them one day, which this was one of them. And I don't know, I liked Seattle was rapidly changing, so this is a historic building. It's one of the last brick buildings downtown, and which had I don't know.
Charming.
It's got its vibe where you're gonna have people attracted to it because it's not your run-of-the-mill building. You can stay at a hotel if you want it to look like a modern room like this. So I thought that would be a good thing. And then through the process, just kind of working with the HOA, found out that they're really, really well run. The gentleman who's the president, John, and all the other people behind him are just, they're very, very smart people. I mean, we have, I think, $300,000 in reserves. Just maintenance is always taken care of. You're walking into a good situation versus walking into a building that's falling apart, and having a special assessment or something like that every month. So, and plus we found out that the HOA covers all utilities, so you don't have any extra bills besides, you know, your HOA dues, and your mortgage just allows you to cash flow a lot more.
Okay, awesome. And one of the things I'll add about it is so when we walked into it, and we've done a complete 360 of the place. You know, I'm relatively small, so like when I go into a space and I sit on a chair and my cannot fit on a chair, it was literally, there was children's furniture in this place. So like me being me, I was like, oh my God, like everything has to go, which always scares Chris, right? Because I'm like, I want to tear everything apart. That's what I do. But wow, the transformation has been amazing, and we're just like not even a 2-minute walk from Amazon Spheres. I mean, it's just as iconic nowadays as the Space Needle. The monorail is right outside our window. I mean, there's, I would say, like, aside from being maybe like in Pike Place, this is a great location. Okay, let's talk about the realities of owning one of these. You know, a lot of people see just the highlights of it, but talk to me about what was one of the most surprising things about launching the B&B.
Just all the things you don't know. I mean, it's not, I read several books before, like while getting into the process, because this is years in the making. It was years of figuring this all out, planning and setting it in motion. And so I read a couple books, and honestly, there's not a lot of information out there that's worth anything. It's all a bunch of fluff, to be honest. There's just things you'll never even think about. One of the things I would recommend is when you're doing this, and that helped me a lot, was Airbnb will link you with another super host, and you can ask questions, they'll give you advice, but just on everything, like how many things, how many plates to have, how many mattresses, mattress protectors, pillows, like there's just stuff you don't think about because, you know, you're normally just taking care of yourself and your needs. You're now running a business, so you have to have like a cycle of products and things like that, supplies.
Like 2 to 3 sets of everything linen wise for turns, right? And then when you're not living there yourself, you don't always know what you don't have until you're like living there. So we had to make lists, double check them, get things, and we're like, wait, they might need this.
And that's just one small thing. Like I didn't even think about, and I didn't read anywhere in all of my research about how to manage the stays, the how much to charge, the like how to do all this stuff. I don't think anybody really touches on that. And I'll be honest with you, and I have read and talked to some people who do this all by hand, and that's crazy. Like there's too many variables that are going on day to day, especially in the downtown city type area with prices, that there's no way you can manually do this. So engaging with a software company that, I think they call them channel managers, that manage basically all of this information as a hub and then push it out to Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com or whatnot, that's priceless. Like, you need to get into that early because that has a big learning curve too to figure out. If you don't figure this stuff out properly, you could just be giving away money. Basically, people will be staying there for free or whatnot, or you won't have anybody staying there because you'll be overpriced. And so there's just all these dynamics that are going on that, if you don't get all of this stuff on the table and start playing with it from day one, I think you're setting yourself up for failure kind of thing. It's not something you can just add in later. You've got to launch properly.
And guess when we launched, guys? Chris was all the way
October
across the world
17th.
in the Maldives,
Yeah.
getting his dive certification, and I was here managing our real estate business as well as, you know, launching the Airbnb. And I thrive on like stress and challenges, but
It went off without a hitch.
it went great, but every day I was like, oh God, I hope like nothing terrible happens. So, but it's been fine. It's been great. Like he said, the software really is a godsend in that sense. Like you gotta learn to work smarter than harder.
Well, and this thing is AI driven, so it's just smarter than you could ever be, or at least it's quicker. So.
Yeah, and I mean, we know of companies that will manage it for you, but that's just not our forte. Like, we want to be that for ourselves and our clients. Like I tell
everybody, you need to know your business before you let somebody manage it for you. Otherwise, you're not going to know if they're doing a good or bad job. And I'm going to tell you, just by looking at our competition, I can see they're not doing great. We even have a friend that's a lender who has some short-term rentals that have been mismanaged as well. So it happens to everybody, but yeah, there's just questions you're gonna need to know that in the beginning you don't even know to ask, and that's kind of what this adventure has been, getting it all set up. Like,
all right, now you can talk to me about profitability. Like, how does this compare to long-term rentals, and then do you recommend it to other investors?
What? Short term?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it depends. You're not gonna, at least in the beginning, you're not gonna be uninvolved. Because like I said, you need to know how it runs to make sure if you let somebody run it for you that you're making money. There's a lot of people that are managing short-term rentals that make a lot of money off the backs of landlords or people that own property. They basically rent the property from them for, like, say, regular price, and then they make 6 times what the rent is off of Airbnb it. And so one advice to me is, if you are a property owner and doing that, make sure your rental agreements have some kind of thing in there that says no short-term rentals are allowed. Or if you're gonna allow it, that you get a piece of the pie. Because like I said, there's people out there taking hell of advantage of folks, and that kind of segues into the profitability of it. Like, I think when we looked at this place downtown, the average rent for a studio, and this place has no parking, so it's all by foot or Uber, paid parking, a lot of ride share, and so $1,500 was like the max it was looking like.
For a long-term rental.
Yeah. And we got, I got a DSCR loan on it, and the mortgage is $1,700, so that's already $200 in the hole. So like I said, it doesn't make, unless you're gonna buy it all cash, which I wouldn't even recommend too, because it doesn't take too long for you to get your money back. It just doesn't balance out. So $1,500 there, and I think on average right now, what I'm looking at, and this is still the slow season, is we're at like $4,000 a month. So that just kind of tells you where it's at. I think we're gonna peak. I don't want to say where we're gonna peak in the holiday, or in the summertime, because we have the World Cup coming, but it's gonna be considerably better. The nice thing was, in this building, there's mainly everybody does short term. And so when we were looking at properties, we had the ability to look at financials, so we could see what people were doing, which made it a lot less risky. But I think on some, like, on average, when we were looking at it, it was between $4,000 and $7,000 the previous owner was making, and he didn't do anything. Like she said, he had children's furniture in there. So that being a benchmark, if we only attain that, we're still sitting really well positioned. Yeah. And if we do better, like we're trying to, we're gonna be well above that. So I like that. I don't wanna sit on a property and and make a couple $100 a month or whatever, or a few $1,000s a year, hoping that the appreciation is gonna come through, because at the end of the day, just like the stock market, we don't know where the economy is gonna be when we need that money. And, you know, you might buy it at 200,000, it may go up to 400,000, and then when you need to sell it, it could be back down to 200,000. So I wanna make sure if I'm doing something like that, there's more meat on the bone, so to speak, to make it worth my while. And so I like this. I kind of look at it, you've got long-term rental, mid-term rental, and short-term rental. If you're getting 1x here, you're getting 2x on mid-term, you're getting 3x on, you know, short-term rental. And those aren't the real numbers. I mean, you're just getting a lot more on short-term, you're getting, you know, a better than decent on mid-term, and you're, to me, not making very much. Again, unless you buy it all cash, but still your money's tied up now in the property, and again, you're gonna be whatever the government is telling you, like, what is it now, you can only raise the rent by 10% per year, whatever. You got Prop 1 in Tacoma. There's just a lot of headwinds for that type of stuff, so I don't really want to own property like that here, except for the property that I live in. I'd buy long-term elsewhere if I was going to do that.
Okay, my favorite section. Now let's talk about the design and the guest experience. How did you decide how to design and furnish the space, and what are some of the small details in there that make it really memorable?
I don't know.
I swear if he doesn't give me any credit here.
I mean, you pretty much did everything. I think what I brought into it was the practicality of it. Like, we have very, very high-end furniture in this place. Like she was saying, it was like what we see even when we travel and stay in Airbnbs. A lot of it is not Airbnb, but IKEA furniture, Amazon furniture, just very.
And no digging to, like, that's, you know.
Yeah, there's a place and a time for that, but not when you're trying to open people's wallets and get paid. You know, so what we tried to do to position ourselves above was to be a fully functioning apartment, downtown Seattle, really nice furniture. Like, basically, if you were coming to stay at a
boutique hotel,
a hip friend's house, and they were letting you basically, because part of one of our little things in our marketing is to, you know, come stay and live like a local. So we wanted to be uber comfortable. We wanted to give everybody the spaces that you would like if you owned it, you would set it up, like not just a bed, but you've got a whole living room, you've got a dining room where you can eat, you can work, you got a full kitchen, and then we blew out the bathroom and redid that thing completely. So yeah, no, I mean, we kind of basically, what did you call it in the beginning? Transitional. So it's the historic building, and this unit is, I guess, how our interpretation of how it would evolve from 1922 to 2026. And so you have all of these, you have elements, you know, our windows are 100 years old or whatever it is.
Yeah, and we've got the original tile.
Original wavy glass.
In the bathroom as well, like.
Yeah, oh, the little tiles.
Yeah, basket weaves.
Yeah, we've got all of that stuff, and then as you would live in your home, as things break, you replace it, or you want to upscale it, you put something else in. So we have modern touches in there that complement, I think, that was historic nature. It's still very much a historic property. You can tell it is when you're there, but you know, we've got new lighting, we've got smart lighting, we've got, you know.
Yeah, we made it a smart home, so it's all Alexa powered. I mean, come on, we're in Amazon's backyard, so it just makes sense to do it that way. We've got a schedule set up for lights during dusk, dawn, all of those cool things. We've done a little bit of an ode to, like, Starbucks is here, so we're getting you top of the line coffee. We've got coffee artwork in our kitchen to show you how to make all your different variations, lattes, cappuccinos, all of that. We've got like salmon on our wall. That sounds weird, but it looks really cool. But I would say like my three favorite things in the apartment are, in our entryway, we did a mural wall, and it is a giant blown up map of the city of Seattle, because we want people to come and stay and experience Seattle for all that it is. Like, when I talk about Seattle, I light up. I love it. I love it on a rainy day, and I love it so much more on a sunny day. And our idea around that was like, we wanted every corner to feel very Instagrammable, because that's the world that we live in today. And then we took our oversized closet, put in actual nice built-in, so you have a place to store your stuff, but we also made it a dressing room. So for the ladies, you got extra space.
It's got a chandelier.
Like, yeah, we put a cute chandelier in there. Oh my god, obsessed. Like, we really did build it as if we were gonna live there, and we wanted everyone to have like an amazing experience. Our bathroom, chef's kiss, I would say. I mean, you know, if anyone ever wants to see pictures or come stay, please, Studio 205 in Seattle. But it was quite literally a passion project. Started from mood boards. I think I had like 6, and I was like, which of these do you like? And so now what we've done is like, we've got our big pieces that stay, like our really nice furnishings, all from like West Elm, CV2. And then we change based on the theme. So like, we'll have seasonal decor for Christmas, and right now we've got the World Cup coming up, so we're gonna have some fun odes to that, and then transition into spring. Like, the Cherry Blossom Festival is really big here, so we don't want it to always look the same, and we want people to experience what it really is like to be in Seattle. Like, one of our very first guests was from South Korea. It's not like they know that much about Seattle other than we have a needle, right? So it was really cool. Like, we had local snacks for them in our basket. We had a little toy because we knew they were coming with a kid. Like, it's just those types of little things. And then what we've also seen over time is like, your white towels get ruined. It's what you need as an Airbnb host. It's the easiest to clean, but they get wrecked. And then we were like, let's start supplying the ladies with makeup wipes. Like, you know, it's these little things that you learn over time.
It's a balance, and you don't want to do too much. I see some places that give you everything under the sun, and where that might be great as a guest, it can be a nightmare as the host or the owner. So you gotta give people just enough to like feel great, but at the same time not so much that they ruin you. Like, I mean, literally, like, we've had every one of our wine glasses has disappeared since we started. I think we're on our 3rd set. Now, just the other day, a salad plate is gone, and it's not broken. We don't find it. The housekeeper never finds it, so I don't know if they're taking it home. We want to get the same set at home. I mean, you can take a picture. You don't need to take the plate.
Yeah.
But, and like she said, the towels, like, why you're using, you know, self bronzer in November, I don't know, but to turn
that's a sticky
people, you're not in a hotel, we don't have commercial like washers and dryers, you're at our house basically, and turning our towels orange is not okay.
Although we are equipped now to like deal with those kinds of things, and these are things that you'll learn
because we know
as
how to
time
bleach
goes.
stuff.
Because I'm a big proponent, like, I was like, let's do black, grays, like the dark linens. Then as I started learning more, I'm like, oh yeah, we can't bleach those. And then we've stayed at places where it was probably black at one point, and then now it looks like Chris's sweater, and that just grossed me out. Like, I was like, oh, ew, no. So, yeah, I mean, and we are not doing that. Like, our housekeeper manages a lot of the other units in our building, and not to like knock anyone's stuff, but they are just like automatically ordering Amazon like sheets and towels and things like that. We're not doing that.
Yeah, like that was,
we want it to feel luxurious. We want you to be comfortable, happy, but also like, don't.
We want you, when you stay at our place, we want you to know the difference. So you're going to tell, dude, quality of furniture, the quality of the linens, towels, things like that. You're gonna be like, wow, this isn't my normal Airbnb experience. And that's where we wanted to position ourselves, because like I said, we want to try to take the profitability to a different level. And the only way you're gonna do that is by giving like elevated experience, I think.
And I think what really helps too is we're here and we're boots on the ground, and we really are like Seattle, Pacific Northwest locals. Whereas like a lot of Airbnb owners are typically off-site or live in other states, and that's fine. You know, you'll still make money doing it, but the fact that we're here, we can check on it. We, you know, if there's any repairs or concerns, whatever it may be, like we're around, so that really helps. All right, now a couple more things and then we'll be done. So we're gonna talk to me a little bit about local market insights, like are Airbnbs a good opportunity in today's market, especially like with what's coming this year?
What do you mean?
It's like your favorite thing to talk about right now, the World Cup.
Oh, man, well, we don't have any days left, we're sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, and I think we talked to you about this a lot earlier, because I know a lot of people who bought Airbnb or tried to do Airbnbs and they failed miserably, because your place needs to be a destination. You know, if you're in a college town, you're gonna have parents coming, things like that. Yes, you need to pick a place that is gonna have a high frequency of travelers, whether that's tourists or professionals. You know, like traveling nurses, doctors, whatnot. Like, you have, just buying one and sticking it somewhere is not a good idea. Some people do well. I've seen some like venue places where they're catering to people getting married, things like that. That's a great idea. Awesome. But you can't just pick any old place and think it's gonna work. So you gotta do, like they say in real estate, location, like do some research, figure it out. And you also have to figure out like how busy you want it to be. I mean, we have neighbors who don't really rent their place out too much. You know, maybe a few times a month. They don't need the money. I don't know why they do it, but you know, they could ramp it up and we're full just about every day. I have to block days out, otherwise we won't have time to go in there and, you know, do deep cleaning or fix anything. You just got to figure out what you're doing, and then what makes sense. If you got a mortgage, then you need to be hustling and make sure you pay that off, and then you have some profitable time during the month as well too. So.
Well, and that's like one of the more important things too, especially with like the type of loans you can get to buy something like this, for it to be a short-term rental. Like you have access. You can ask the sellers, have your agents ask the sellers, like, hey, can I see your books? Let me see your financials.
And if it's running, yeah.
And
if it's,
they're more than happy to share, right? And
I mean, what I see, most the people we bought it from and everybody else, like, you're missing the boat on this. If you set it up and you have a successful running Airbnb that has future bookings and earnings,
yeah, we're booked
that's
out
not
in
what
August.
That's not what you're selling when you go to sell it. Now you have a business. You can sell the financials, you know, all of this stuff. It's not going to sell for what just your base real estate. I think I see everyone miss that out. It's like they just throw it away. Like, hey, we got this. I'm selling this, and I'll take whatever the real estate is worth. And that's where the residential and the commercial side now has come intersected, and you got to work with somebody that'll be able to tell you, like, hey, don't you leave your money on the table.
Right, and we're your partner in that, right? Like,
for sure. When
we went after this, we really wanted it to be like a love letter to our city. That's kind of the plan for every Airbnb that we will do after this one, and you just have to find those niche things that like the places you live in are known for. Like, for example, if I'm in Florida, I'm gonna look for some something that's like a beach cottage or a beach condo, and I'm playing up the beach in the sunshine. Yes, yes. But here in Washington, like, we're known for the outdoors, we're known for the historics, like, people love the Space Needle, we're known for our techiness, like, all of those types of things is what went into building ours, and you can always do that, right? Like in Seattle, you don't have to just be a downtown condo. You could be a cute little cabin on your way to Mount Rainier National Park. Those have amazing ROI. You could be those cute little treehouse cabins out on the peninsula, you know, out on the water on the coast. You're gonna do amazing. Like in Ocean Shores, they only have one line left really of people that can be Airbnbs, and it's because it's so popular. But also, you have to think about seasonality in that. Ocean Shores is, yes, very seasonal. You can only really enjoy it for a few months of the year, and then the rest of the time, like, we were helping a client relocate there, and it was just dead. So,
yeah, but I mean, the thing, you could market it different, like I told you. There's people looking for little romantic getaways or something during the winter months. Well, you have to think outside the box, because if you're just thinking, you know, vacation rental, then yeah, people are just going to usually go out there in the spring and summer months. If you've got a mortgage, you're going to be carrying it during the winter. How can you monetize those months by getting people out there? People still go out there. You just got to figure out how to be the place they're choosing.
For sure.
And that's kind of why that was with ours. I mean, people are always coming, but there's less tourists coming during the holiday season. It's mainly going to be, you know, people working. Yeah, or locals coming to see a game. Like this year, we had people going to the Seahawks games, wanting to stay, you know, just stay in town for the weekend. But we also had Amazon people that would come in from out of state and stay for a few weeks. You need to kind of source that out if you want to stay, you know, full during those months. And again, like, we've got a mortgage on this. I don't really want to like write a check out of my pocket to pay for it. So at least getting that covered and then maximizing it when, you know, the peak season hits. But very profitable, great market. Seattle's a great market, even with, you know, all the craziness that happens downtown sometimes, I'd say. I mean, I've lived in downtown Bellevue on and off since 1995, and it's still a pretty cool place to hang out.
All right, we're just about to wrap up, but we're gonna do a rapid fire round. So I'm just gonna ask you a bunch of questions, and you have to answer as quickly as you can. All right, drink your water for our guys.
Hold on a sec.
All right. What was your best guest review?
Best guest review? I don't know.
All right, next.
Best
Worst
guest review? Like, I don't know. What did you remember?
I mean, we get a lot of 5
They're
stars.
all good.
Yeah. I think, and what seems to be the common theme is that people feel comfortable. Like, we're not doing 3 people stays, we're doing 2 people stays because we want folks to be comfortable in there.
Oh.
They appreciate the different living zones, and they appreciate
Everything's
the effort that we
there.
put into like really making it a destination.
Yeah.
Let's see, what's your worst guest experience? We haven't been up and running that long. I don't know if we have one.
I would say the towel thing, just because I'm not a big purveyor of bleach. Like, I don't use a lot of bleach when I clean clothes, so I didn't know how to use that stuff or if that was even salvageable. I mean, it was orange. So, like, that was scary because, like I said, we're buying nicer things, a set of those towels. I don't know how much a set of the towels are, but I know a set of the sheets are like $125. So it's not cheap to replace it. But yeah, that was scary there for a minute, like, because everything we have is white, so everything has the potential to get ruined. But we have learned, actually, OxyClean is your friend.
For sure.
soaking that, and then a little tinge of bleach if you need it. We'll get that stuff out every time. That's probably the worst, and hopefully that stays the worst thing that we have.
Yeah, because we hear some like pretty horrific stories from our housekeeper who turns our unit. Oh my gosh, I think one time he accidentally texted us and said there was like pee and blood in the bed. And I was like, no. And he's like, sorry, not you guys, different unit. And I was like, oh, thank God. Like, I don't want to have to deal with that today.
And a lot of that, from what I've learned, has to do with your pricing. And so pricing and your minimum amount of like stays. Like if you have a very low, like 1 day stay and then a low price, it's a combination for disaster kind of thing.
We're not going to tell you more about that. Okay. What's one must-have Airbnb amenity?
Amenity. I don't know. I just think like a well-stocked kitchen, like ours. Like we have everything. I mean, we even have, like if you're a drinker, like we set you up. Like we've got whiskey glasses. We've got the ice molds for the round and the giant cubes and things like that. Like I don't know, just that's always been my like what I didn't like about hotels. Like you didn't have a kitchen, you didn't have all of this stuff, and then even if you did, you had very minimal like pans and pots, pans, things like that. Like you have everything. We've got Cuisinart knife sets, you know.
Yeah, you can bake, you can cook,
yeah, you can make
do just about
anything
anything
you want. Yeah, we got air fryers, rice cookers. Like, it sounds like a lot, but it's actually very, like a well-chosen few things that give you the greatest ability to do stuff. So I think for me, like, just having a well-appointed kitchen like that to be able to save some money, like.
Yeah.
You know,
oh yeah, it's expensive.
You can go to
travel.
Pike's Market and buy all this like amazing fresh food, bring it back to the place, and go to town.
And he does love to complain, like when some of our guests don't like do the best job, and he's like, "Why don't they just throw it in the dishwasher?
Yeah.
Like, don't even hand wash it."
Wash
he does get frustrated, but then I like remind him, I'm like, "People are cooking in here. Like, that's a good thing. Like they're enjoying their time. They're actually spending time in the space. Like that's important." For me personally, I would say like a really good amenity is a good bathroom, which we have an amazing one. I even like forced him to put one of those smart halo light mirrors in there. And then a really, really comfortable bed, which we do. What is that? Like a purple mattress or something?
No, that's a Lisa.
Yeah, something crazy. He like did all the research, and it's I had to help him not only move the couch, but also the mattress upstairs, and he's like yelling at me.
Oh wait, that was your dad.
No, that he helped you move the cat scratch pee one. I helped you move the regular one.
Oh.
He's like yelling at me. I'm like about to be like, I'm gonna let go of this thing and it's gonna come right down the stairs. I was like plotting inside. I was getting so irritated, guys. The people that know me
And
know.
what happened? What got on the plastic?
I don't
on
remember.
your face.
I remember. I don't talk about it because it's gonna give me PTSD. Okay, obviously I know the answer to this, but would you rather own 5 Airbnbs or 5 long-term rentals?
5 Airbnbs. I mean, like I said, the dream originally to start this was to start here, build out, but eventually maybe having one back home in Hawaii, having one, you know, some other place that I like to go. And so while I'm not there vacationing or spending time, they're making money, and it's just a difference. Like long-term rentals, they're making money to basically just be flat, to have the real estate. This is making money from both. You're paying off the real estate and you're putting a ton of money in your pocket. To me, that's just like, that's the best of both worlds. And so, yeah, I mean, 5 Airbnbs will generate like the same income that like a dozen or more long-term rentals would make. So like for me, it's a no-brainer. But again, you gotta be smart about it. You gotta have a plan.
All right, last one. What's one thing you would do differently if you started again?
I wouldn't be as thorough as I was on this. I think I could have got away with making something work and making it look good without like completely ripping it down and rebuilding it again and like making it like it was brand new. Like that was overkill, and it took up a lot of time and resources. Where not like I'm just trying to like put lipstick on a pig or something like that, but you can like these windows didn't need to be done the way they were done. Like they were.
Yeah, because there's only one company that works on 100-year-old windows.
Yeah, they didn't need to be stripped down and broken into these like. I mean, they literally took the windows out of the unit and rebuilt them. I mean, they're wonderful. And they put like all the they're 100 and whatever year old windows, and they've got modern day weather stripping. It's helped cut down the sound from outside that our neighbors.
Yeah, we've noticed that a lot of other units get that complaint a lot, that it's noisy, which of course you're in a downtown area, it's noisy, but
100
our
years
units
old
isn't.
and it's single pane windows.
Yeah.
So, but again, we could have got them functioning and even probably weather stripped without going to the,
Yes.
to the nth degree. So, I mean, I would restrain yourself. Like I always have to keep telling myself, I don't live here. Same thing when you're flipping out. Like I don't live here. I don't need to put everything.
A diamond toilet seat or
yeah,
something.
like
for
it needs to be functional. It needs to be, whatever. It needs to be good. It just doesn't need to be like perfect. And I think that's where a lot of people get hung up on, myself included. I think there was a point though that like when it came.
Oh yeah, I finally had to be like, and it's funny because I typically am like the big picture person, but I am also very nitpicky, detail oriented about certain things. And like there were certain things where I was like, absolutely not, like we have to do this. But like the bathroom when it was the wrong color. Oh my gosh, like, I tried to play it off and I was like, yeah, I like it. Like I went with it for a little while, and then like one day he like brought it up to me and he's like, I don't know that I like, because I didn't want to have to spend more time working on the unit. I just wanted to get it ready and get it on the market.
Sure.
And I was like, I'm just gonna go with it. Like, it's fine. And my vision was, which it looks today, what I wanted it to be, this beautiful like emerald green color, because we are the Emerald City. Why the hell was this color like freaking this green Skittles color? Oh, I was upset. And the ceilings were the same color, so, but I was going with the flow. I didn't want to throw another wrench in there, and then one day he was like, I don't know that I like love this color. He didn't even finish that sentence, and I was like, I hate it so much! Like, I couldn't do it. But it's painted now, and it's beautiful, and
So like a one. But like
all
in
the
that scenario, like, and go back to what I was saying, like I was going to try to just keep the tile that was there and have it resealed, which is what they did on the last renovation in 2007, I think. And like I tried everything to save this because I think it turned out to be like $7,000 to rip all this down and do all this, but at the end it came out great. It's it raises the bar. People love it. They always comment about it in the pictures and when they stay there. But
yeah, I mean,
that
to
was
the point
thing,
where our Airbnb got reviewed last week or something, and the guy was like, are some of your photos AI generated? And we're like, heck no, we just use an amazing photographer that we use for our real estate business, and we made the place look amazing. Like, no, this is not fake.
But what I'm trying to say is, like, what I'm saying, I need to hold myself back from, say, like, a full retrofit of the windows, but like in the bathroom, I needed to move forward with taking that all out and fixing it, because like literally the tiles were falling off the wall and it was a horrible job, and them going back in and doing it right, like how it should have been, it looks amazing. And so that's does that balance, like you gotta put the effort where it needs it, and it may not need it every single space.
Yeah, but like always, what we tell our clients in our real estate business too is like, if it's health and safety items, like always
100%.
take care of that. Like we had 100-year-old plumbing, we knew that
All the
more than
wiring
likely.
was backwards. I had spent the whole day doing that.
Yeah, so we've done like plumbing work, we've done electrical, we've even done some like mudding in there, drywall work. Like we've done quite a lot in there, and again, it was a lot of learning and we met some really amazing people like along the way.
Dimitri.
Yeah,
You need floor, my hardwood floors look amazing.
Our floor guy, amazing. Our real estate photographer, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The people that tiled the bathroom, amazing. Like, and the people that did the wallpaper, amazing. Wall gurus, I think, or happy wall, something like that. But you know, now we have like a myriad of people that we've met through this that not only like check in on us, but they're interested in what we're doing, and now we've got resources for our clients, as well as in the future if we, you know, decide to do more of these. All right, anything else you want to leave the people with before we sign off for the day?
You can just put the link in the thing so they can see it, so they know what we're talking about.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
And if anyone's interested, let us know. We got a lender that can get you information on how we finance these types of things. We can kind of, I don't know, we learned a lot. The next one will be a lot easier. The hardest part, I think, is finding it, you know?
Yeah. Well, we'll see you on the next one, and I hope for the folks that think Chris never wants to be here, he really wanted to be here today. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.